Listen, I have adult children. My youngest is 20 years old, and I have 5 kids, 4 girls, 1 boy. And it's different stages of their development, right? So when they're toddlers, even when they're preteens, man, they are obedient. They mostly listen to you. And but when that transition comes to going into adulthood, right? What I had to learn from the elders teaching me was that you go from managing their lives to consulting their lives. And so what that means is you can't tell them what to do anymore. And then you have to let them and watch them make their mistakes and then be there for them. So if you go around that corner, you're going to get hit over the head. Like, don't go over that corner. You try to grab them up, please. You can't grab them up. They're doing their walk, and you got to let them go around that corner and get hit on the head. Yeah. And then when they come after they got hit on the head, I got hit on the head. I told them. But now you got to help the wound, throw a little ice on it and stuff like that. So that has been a challenging transition. Yeah, that's been a challenging transition for me and my wife, and just learning how to navigate that new space, with having adult children, and you guys probably have different.
Listen, you dropping gems on me right now. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if I'm ready to be like. If I know it's right around the corner, man,
and you gotta let go
because I gotta trust what I put in the sauce, right? I gotta trust the ingredients.
How old is your oldest?
All I got one. I got a 5-year-old.
Oh, man, it's the golden years, man. Both of y'all in the golden years on the low.
Listen, my golden years get ready to get real copper real soon because I got that she's not even a preteen anymore. She's a teenager.
Right.
And she's getting ready to go right into
into the belly of the beast.
Into the belly,
States.
right.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's just, have I given you enough wisdom up to this point?
Yeah.
Because I've already seen her, like, she's my oldest. I love my oldest, right? She's much like me. I'm a Taurus. She's not a Taurus.
Shout out to the Tauruses. Me too.
Shout out to all the
Capricorn
Tauruses.
In the house.
We didn't say anything about Capricorns.
It's funny because she's a Virgo like her mother. You know what I'm saying? And if you know Virgos and Tauruses, they just seem to complement each other in very, very contrasting ways.
Contrasting ways.
Right. But so my oldest, she's very I guess the best word is combative, but not in a very negative way, but she's going to challenge you. She's going to challenge your thought. Yeah, right. She's going to challenge your point of view. And she'll tell you like, well, I don't necessarily see it like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the older she gets, the more I'm getting that, right? Mm-hmm. And that I feel like, all my wisdom is solid. You know what I mean? It's like, what you mean? Like, how you don't see it like I was
the question
I'm giving you all these jewels and you telling me they're not jewels?
Let me ask you this, though. My thing is, when kids start getting combative and they start challenging, my question is, how long were they waiting to say, I'm ready to do this?
Right.
Because it wasn't yesterday.
They build that up.
They've been ready. They was like, I'm going to challenge this. I'm going to wait till I'm 15 and I'm going to challenge you.
And listen, there's an interesting notion, right? So like if you over discipline your kids, right, you create these automatons in the society that is just like obedient, you know what I'm saying? Or if you go too hard, they actually rebel and get disobedient, you know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of have like a mix and a balance and a lighter hand, and that and them challenging you is their first time that they are asserting themselves. And so you kind of want to nurture that a little bit, you know what I'm saying, while teaching them, you know what I'm saying, the proper way to really, assert yourself and become who you're going to be in the world, So it's a tough balance, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I wouldn't say over discipline them because they're gonna go all the way to the left at that point. You know what I'm saying?
And I've seen that in other people's households.
Yeah,
where I'm
of
like,
course.
Nah, that's trouble. You asking for
trouble.
trouble.
Go to college, boy. They out the house for the first time.
Let me ask you this question. You guys got daughters, so this is good for me. I like this.
You got a son?
I got a son.
Oh, you all right?
Yeah.
A whole other set of circumstances.
But it might try for the girl. You never know. I might just create boys. We'll see.
I hear that.
We'll see. But I got a question for y'all. This is one of the funnest questions I have on the show. Did you ever get a sex talk? Who or what gave you sex education?
Nah.
My cousins, my friends and my cousins. That's
your peers?
Yeah, your peers gave you the worst sex information ever. You know what I'm saying? In the sex talk.
So my question is, what are some of the stuff they said first before I ask you? What is some of the stuff you heard? You jump off the porch yet? What kind of peer pressure questions did you get?
Man, it was just really like, what's up? You smashed yet?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that was always the first thing. It's like, don't come talk to me until you've actually experienced this.
Right.
Like, you gonna get clowned if you come into the table and you ain't never been in any experiences before.
Right.
So fathers, how do we plan to change this, and when are you gonna have this conversation?
I've had it.
You've had it. I'm sure.
Yeah, I've had it definitely.
I've had it with my oldest. I've had it with my oldest.
Was it weird?
Yeah, it was
Very.
weird. It was very weird because without saying too much, I felt like it could have gone smoother. Like if we could have been a little more prepared.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I got my point across, and I think she understood it. And it's funny because she tried to act like she didn't know any of what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I already knew.
They got a front in front of the folks.
Yeah, right. So she was fronting like she didn't know anything about what I was explaining to her.
Yeah.
And I knew, and I had already known she knew.
Right.
I was like, yo, she knows about this, but I'm not gonna let it just be what her peers are telling her.
That's
She's
right.
got to hear it from me.
Yeah.
She's got to know that the value in
Yeah.
it. The dynamic,
And
value.
there's
listen,
energy involved.
Right. And
She's
listen,
a
it's
goalie.
not- listen, let me tell
Right, you gotta
something.
be able to
Let me tell you,
block.
brothers. Let me tell you, brothers who are just in stage 2 and 3
Yeah.
of the parenting thing is not one sex talk you got to have. You got to have multiple. So you got to have age appropriate sex talks at different points in their development. You know what I'm saying? So I think my last sex talk with my whole group, I gathered them all in. I was like, yo, we got to have a family meeting. And it was around when they was in college and going to college, because now that's a whole nother one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you try to interject a little bit of, religious conversation in there and morality, and, try to give them a balanced picture. And then you got to kind of, combat some of the information that they're getting from society as well.
Misinformation.
Yeah. So the talk that I had with them when they were going to college or in college is not the talk you could have with them when they're 9, 10, 11,
Right. Absolutely.
preteens and, younger teens or whatever the case is. So that's going to be an ongoing thing, and you want to kind of catch them before
The transitions.
those transitions. Exactly.
Yeah, because listen, those who went to college are listening right now. Your first 3 months in college, you can mess around and have like 10 bodies on you.
Yeah, easy.
Because you think it's love, but you're
Right.
18 and those seniors know the
Yeah,
game, and they
that's right.
get you right when you walk through.
That's right.
Matter of fact, they waiting for you at orientation.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
keep
the
it
first
100.
time you're
Yeah.
living outside your house with strangers. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So
With guys
everybody's
who
on
using
10.
the same line that's work.
Everybody's on
I
10.
told my wife, I said that there's a guy out there who uses the same line on 100 women, and out of 100 women, he can get 10. He will talk to 500 women a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
He will meet the quota.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He will
Turn
continue
it
to
out.
talk about
it's a
it.
volume game.
And see, for me, because I'm at that stage with my oldest where, she's looking for her independence.
Of
She
course.
doesn't have it because she's only 14 years old.
Right.
But she's looking, and she knows like she can't just jump out the window
Yeah.
and be independent. Like
That's right.
this she's got to get through these stages.
Right.
But she's at that awkward stage where it's like, I want to figure these things out for myself, Dad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily need you to tell me everything.
Yeah.
But I also want her to remember, like, yo, I'm always gonna be here. I'm always
Absolutely.
gonna, like, I'm not just your dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the person who cares about you the most.
That's right. And you know what I learned? You cannot take the discovery process away from the human spirit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You gotta
gems.
let everybody discover certain things on their own. Like, nobody's ever gonna take 100% of your information.
Right.
Even if they're your kids and they love you and trust you, your wife ain't gonna do it, your kids ain't gonna do it. There's a certain element of discovery that everybody has to go on by themselves.
Absolutely.
So make room for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all in that conversation. Good luck to everyone out there raising daughters or sons.
Pray for me, bro.
Had
Pray
that-
for me.
Had that conversation, man. It's super important, man, because you got to let them know, man, some exciting things are going to happen.
Right. Yeah. Listen, and it ain't all bad now. Don't scare
ain't all-
them behind
Yeah,
some
right,
sex.
right,
No,
right.
you
I gotta
don't never
tell
have
them it's
no
amazing.
grandkids. Yep.
Right. Yeah, tell them, I know people who've been told and really drilled about how awful it is to do this, and now,
and then when they like it, they're just like, I must be an awful person. Now you F them up for the rest of their lives. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be very careful with that.
So I was on a Clubhouse thing, on a call with about 200 people. It was my room talking,
Right.
and there were people asking questions. It was like, ask me a question, let me answer it. I had a panel of people. And there was a lady who was like, you look at the profile picture, she was gorgeous. Like, she was like a 20 out of 10. She was fine. And she came on there and she said, Sheem, she said, hey, I want to ask you something about my marriage. I said, what's going on? I was like, I don't want to answer your question about the marriage. But she was like, listen, I waited till I was married to engage in sexual activity with my husband. Now the problem is every time we have sex, I see Jesus in the corner.
Oh, right. That's a
couldn't
tough
turn
one.
it off.
That's a little
Yeah, that's
spooky
right.
though.
She couldn't.
Yeah.
I know, but she couldn't
But
turn
that's
it
that
off.
trauma. That's that trauma
Yeah.
that she got.
She got.
But she was
religious
married.
trauma.
Yeah, religious
Even though she
trauma
was
behind
married,
sex.
you sign that paper, you get married. It don't change what your habits have been.
That's
Yeah.
right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And,
find
and
a
that may
balance.
ruin her marriage going into the future because
Yeah.
she can't enjoy it or whatever.
Or
the
he
case
knows
is.
she doesn't enjoy it
Yeah.
because she see Jesus in the corner.
Damn, that's crazy.
And I know her being fine has nothing to do with it, but it's a
Yeah.
plus, okay?
You're right.
She gave me the green light. Now it's time to take flight. Let's go.
Cause I'm out the ordinary.